Her 17th year. Tremendous leadership by both of these programs. And they have their teams prepared for what should be a knockdown, drag-out battle. The starting five for Iowa, it'll be Molly Davis, Kate Martin, Caitlin Clark, Gabbie Marshall, and Hannah Stuelke. For the UNI Panthers, it's Maya McDermott, Kaylin Morgan, Kaba Lauby, Grace Buffelli, and Emerson Green. For shot off the mark, and the Panthers in their home white uniforms bring across the half-court line.
I've coached a lot of games in this building, Eric. I've never seen anything like this. The electricity is intense.
Buffelli, pump fake. Good block by Stuelke. Shot clock does not reset. McDermott goes to work. And still no points in this game thus far.
I always like the opening few minutes of a basketball team. It's a little bit of a slow dance, and teams trying to figure out who's guarding who, what kind of defense are we playing. Then when the kids relax, it usually settles into what the game's going to look like.
Stuelke, we talked about her in the pregame show. She's averaging 17 points, 6.5 rebounds. She's 16 of 19 from the floor this year.
And what you just saw on that last possession is her biggest strength. Look at her run the floor right now. She's the first person down there. Molly Davis hit her last time for an easy two.
Morgan unable to make the shot, a whistle, and this is going against UNI. The first foul of the game. Keep an eye on Gabbie Marshall. She's 0 for 9 this year, has not scored in her 30 minutes of action. All 9 shots, 3-pointers. Clark misses. Panthers get the ball back. Morgan doesn't have numbers, and she can't finish.
You have Iowa City native Kaylin Morgan guarding Iowa City legend Caitlin Clark. As we see Kate Martin get downhill in transition early. So many interesting matchups here as we see Clark navigate over to Morgan in the corner. Caitlin Clark is a good defender, but she has to preserve energy, so she doesn't always go a million miles an hour on defense every time.
Panthers are on the board as Grace Buffelli. She's the preseason conference player of the year. Nice move.
One Division I scholarship offer.
Wow. Buffelli, a little undersized against the Power 5 schools. They're dominant in the Missouri Valley Conference. Offensive rebound, second chance points, and she's on the board.
And one thing I noticed early is that UNI messed up the ball screen coverage on the left wing that time, and it's because of how loud it is in here. They simply could not get their signal communicated.
Emerson Green, a little bit of contact as she drives into the lane. We're going the other way. Clark with it. Trying to reach in and grab it there is Lauby. Hawks open 3. Offensive rebound again, and the putback. And a chance at the three-point play.
That's Hannah Stuelke is an elite offensive rebounder. She doesn't have a great back-to-the-basket game like Monica Sedano, who she replaced at the 5 spot for the Hawkeyes, but she can go get it off the glass.
Great look at a full arena. And Adam, the Hawkeyes are one of the best teams in the country in a couple of things, and they're showing that early. Here's the Iowa transfer going to work, and Shatia Wettering. Whistle stops the shot clock with 5 on it, and a foul. A 65% free throw shooter. Last year, 138 makes.
This year to be a goal because she needs to get 75% or so from the line. It doesn't jump as well as Stuelke, doesn't run the floor as well. But Coach Jan Jensen, who coaches the post at Iowa, does a terrific job developing those players. You see a backdoor cut.
Clark needs now 14 more to become the career point leader in Iowa women's basketball history. She's averaging 36 points a game. Good finish.
They are going to put Sharon Goodman in space as much as they can, even if it's against their 5. Grace Buffelli.
Hand in her face
to shoot going left.
He's the coach, Adam DeJody. Panthers again shooting woes early on. 2 of 9 from the floor. That's not going to cut it if you want to beat the top 3 team in the country.
You know, for UNI, this is not obviously an ideal start. However, you just need to stay connected. Stay within range. That basket helps.
Filling it up in the first quarter, Grace Buffelli showing the multitude of moves she has when she has the ball in her hands. These are double team comes. And Wettering whistled First player in D1 history to have 1,000 points and 300 assists in a single season. Has the ball in her hands a lot, but doesn't turn it over. Almost an offensive rebound, and they do track it down. That is the third offensive rebound for the Hawkeyes here.
Well, if you like offensive basketball, this is your kind of game because both these teams are so good on offense. As we see,
for 6 games of last year when the starter Cynthia Wolf went down with a season-ending injury.
A nice addition for them. Can really shoot the three as well. Both coaches trying to get players into this.
Well, the Panthers aren't walking the ball across the half-court line, are they? A 1-on-4. Little scoop shot layup is good. Right. Gets her Panther paw in there and forces it to one of the top teams in the country. Another missed shot as Green. Look who comes up. Both these coaches really recruit the state of Iowa. Hadela draws the foul. Hadela, 4 starts last year in 27 games. A 60% free throw shooter.
Cato has been a nice addition to this roster. A year ago, Division II transfer from Bemidji State. She can shoot threes, she can post up.
Iowa has not scored in the last 3 minutes. It's going to be Panther basketball with 56 seconds to play.
And it looks like, boy, we don't want to give Molly Davis a wide open three, but you kind of have to pick your poison when you're UNI. That time, Caitlin Clark, ball screen left side of the floor. They soft trap it. You're going to leave somebody open.
Still plenty of time. And a foul called with 10 seconds. And that is the 5th. Free throw is good. Full court pressure will be applied as Clark will inbound underneath the Panther hoop.
Can they? Yes. Will they? Stay tuned.
Midcourt at 5. Open look. And your end of first quarter score, the Iowa Hawkeyes 20, the UNI Panthers 11.
This is obviously the first sellout in the history of the program. As we see Stuelke get loose on the out of bounds.
Have to change your game and approach depending on how it's being called.
Bring it. I will run some really good out of bounds plays. Saw that time it was almost a force switch. That time UNI does it. There's no need to switch that action. UNI had a bunch of turnovers last year, 20 in the game. Now they don't have quite as many today. Iowa's the team that's turning it over.
Brother AJ Green, 2-time Larry Bird Player of the Year for the UNI Panthers in the Missouri Valley Conference. Got some run time last night for the Milwaukee Bucks. Father is assistant coach for the Iowa State Cyclones, long time. And the Iowa State Cyclones, is that final, Adam?
Yeah, they won this afternoon. So I'm sure Kyle got done with the game. He's checking out his daughter's game against his state rival, Iowa.
Panthers just 4 of 7 from the free throw line here. Kind of a scoring lull the last 7 or 8 minutes of game time.
We've lost a little bit of our flow. Some of that's the calls, but they'll settle back in.
A lot of contact, and travel is called. A 7-point differential. The Panthers playing better than the Hawks here as of late. Laube into the paint. Can't finish. Offensive rebound. Clark tips it away. And we're going the other way.
That was a great play by Caitlin Clark.
Hitting the bottom of the net. Gabbie Marshall, 5th-year guard out of Cincy.
That's a bad sign for UNI. Gabbie Marshall with 2 early threes.
Clark choosing to attack. And then a foul called against the Panthers. She's been held in check as far as Caitlin Clark is concerned.
And she obviously is going to break that record. She'll probably break it. You know it's a big deal, and maybe you're thinking about it. I'm not saying that's the case with Caitlin Clark today, but a little slower start.
Hawks out rebounding the Panthers 22-16. Emerson Green keeps putting shots up, but Clark, a little bit of contact. Another miss, but an offensive rebound. Remember, UNI's star player has been sitting on the bench for a long time as she got 2 quick fouls.
And Sharon Goodman is a newer player for Iowa. Didn't play a ton last year.
Last time she took a 3. This time she drives and gets fouled. And 1 of 6 from behind the arc.
And part of that is missing some shots. Emerson Green's had some really good. Everybody's an inch or two longer. And that's just a difference. Doesn't mean you can't win the game, but it does impact your shooting because you're not used to that length.
75 points per game. Right now they're at 16. Meanwhile, the Iowa Hawkeyes, 91 points last season. We're under 5 to play before half.
Great set by the Hawkeyes. That was some false motion to get Clark the back door because UNI is somewhat face guarding Caitlin Clark when she doesn't have the ball. It's tough to defend those back cuts. $14 points. That's not a good sign if you are UNI. Just need to stay connected here heading into halftime.
Buffelli has just played 5 minutes, but she's 3 of 5 from the floor with those 2 fouls. Tough shot and the run continues for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Deliberate post-ISO set coming out of the timeout.
It's a 10-2 run over the last 4:05. Floater has the list of so many point guards that have had tremendous careers. Clark sitting at 8 points right now with 3:40 to go before half.
Kaylin Morgan, we saw Riley Wright do the same thing earlier and get 2 points.
Free throw shooting woe.
Number 3 ranked team in the country. If you're going to pull off an upset.
Nice action again. The reverse layup can't connect.
Good back cut by Feuerbach off the low block entry. Just missed the reverse layup.
Open look for Marshall again. Short. Skying for the rebound and free throws. Another look at it.
I'm watching the non-verbal body language by Caitlin Clark. She's not happy right now, and she's not impacting the game with her scoring, and she is yelling at her teammates. She's throwing her hands in the air, and they're up by 11 points. Very interesting development right now.
Free throw is good. One more coming as we're under 3 minutes to play here.
2 years ago in this very game, in the very court, Caitlin Clark received a technical foul for essentially taunting the UNI bench.
Never know what's going to happen with these in-state rivalries. I absolutely love that the Iowa and Iowa State coaching staffs do the home and home. Used to happen with the men's programs, then they went to a neutral site, and now they said, nope, we're good.
Well, it's really great. We talked about it off the air, but it really helps grow the game of women's basketball.
UNI picked to win the Missouri Valley Conference. Drake right behind them. Iowa currently 3rd in the nation.
Yeah, they've been to a few NCAA tournaments, Sweet 16s, Elite 8s themselves. So it is such a women's basketball tradition-rich state, especially when you're talking about a state of 3 million people.
Always keeping an eye on the triple-double watch for Clark. She has 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Also 3 turnovers, which is very uncharacteristic for her. Fouled in the act of shooting, and that's 3 free throws for Clark. 3 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 4 from deep, and she's 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
You saw that sidestep, 3 going left. That's her favorite shot. She loves that going left.
She's also just 1 triple-double away as being just the 2nd Division I player to record a triple-double in 4 different seasons. It's not easy to get triple-doubles by double digits.
I was at that game. It was never a game. It's the 21st time in 22 years the Hawkeyes have played all 3 other Division I programs this day. I think the only one not was during the COVID year. One of them got canceled. Another nugget from friend Chris Kleinhahn-Schultz, but it's really cool.
Hope you're enjoying this Sunday matinee. Iowa's had a great week, collecting a couple wins already. Farley Dickinson on the 6, Virginia Tech. Clark at the free throw line. Last year, she was tremendous free throw shooter. This year, 15 of 20.
And if you're UNI, you want to keep this thing at 10 or under. It's at 13 right now.
She will be well rested for that second half. Open look. But also the Iowa Hawkeyes have had a couple players with 2 fouls that have been getting a lot of bench time as well. Under a minute to go, the feed and the finish.
Just an absolutely terrific play.
Was a great look. So it makes her so special. Laube, no. Offensive rebound, guess who? Finish. And an empty possession out there on Caitlin. Again, she's now 3 points away from becoming the all-time scoring leader at the University of Iowa. 3, 2, 1. And they don't even get a shot off. Good defense. Your halftime score, the Iowa Hawkeyes, third best team in the country. They beat the Hawks just a couple of years ago on this very court in this building. Caitlin Clark going to work. Beautiful feed and finish. That's Buffelli had an open lane, potentially shaken up a little bit. The athletic trainer is looking at her. If you don't have Buffelli or McDermott, 2 first-team All-Missouri Valley Conference players, this is going to be nearly impossible to climb back into this thing. Clark draws the foul, and Clark has 14 as she sings basketball. Career scoring, and she does. To help the Panthers, Hadela leaves it short. Fans wanted to travel. In transition, 3 is good. Gabbie Marshall continues to grow. Marshall now with 11. And 1. Again, I do not see Maya McDermott. I think she might have gone into very patient with this offensive set. There's the jumper. And the rebound to Buffelli, and the Panthers push it across the half-court line.
Great defense that time by UNI.
That has to feel good for Green, who had a tough shooting performance in the first half. But the answer...
shooter, and she has picked the right game to get back on track.
2 strong offensive rebound. Off a missed shot going the other way. Buffelli playing with those 3 fouls. Right at 60% as a team from the charity stripe.
Well, it's a tall enough task to beat the number 3 team in the country, but when you're missing free throws, makes it even harder.
Buffelli last year led the team in scoring, rebounds, and field goal percentage. Into the paint. Good spin and finish. Number of times, the Valley's good.
The Valley is good. That's a fun event. I go there now that I'm not even coaching, just for fun, to watch all the great teams.
Getting a quick score.
Second quarter. She thought that was supposed to be the 9th. It wasn't.
Clark, double team comes, spins away.
There's the 9th.
2,800. And last year, Eric Braley, Adam DeJody on the call here for the Panther Sports Network. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday afternoon. We know a lot of people are tuning in as this thing sold out in less than an hour. Going to work and
terrific. It's going to be a fun season to watch her add to the...
Yeah, she's not shying away from these bright lights. Got her feet under her, lets it fly. She's working on that triple-double. And she is 18, along with 8 rebounds and 8 assists.
And that's really a great short corner. Clark is really the first time that she's had a really clean look. That's as open as she's going to get. People don't leave her completely wide open.
Beautiful feet. She's more open there.
Yeah, receiving it.
Hawkeyes putting on a clinic right now. And the Panthers are without Maya McDermott. And Gabbie Marshall. Offensive rebound foul. Not a lot of weaknesses in this Iowa team, Coach.
Not at all. Depth could be one as they get into the deeper part of the Big Ten season, into the NCAA tournament. But they have a great roster led by a great player who makes everyone around her better. She's not just a scorer. She has the ability to get other people open shots. And if they make those, they're just a very, very difficult team to guard.
So here's Grace Buffelli. leading the way with 9 points. And misses that one. And frustration you can see on her face. Again, this one of the main storylines is Maya McDermott, who averaged 17 points a game last year, has 3, and she's only played 10 minutes. And I'm not sure if she's coming back into this game here.
They already have one great one in their hip pocket over Horizon League favorite Green Bay.
Caitlin Clark, currently 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 10 assists.
In the country, and then ho-hum at Hilton Coliseum at Missouri State.
The Hawkeyes doesn't really hurt the Panthers.
It doesn't hurt them. You like to perform better, chance to achieve a great non-conference win and build that resume.
Panthers 11 of 20 from the free throw line. Open look. Feuerbach drains it out of Sycamore, Illinois. Transfer from Iowa State. Buffelli had a good first quarter. Picked up a couple fouls. Sat the majority of the second quarter. Unique strategy to pull the Panthers off the free throw line, especially with how poorly UNI has shot from the free throw. So Buffelli's the only one there. If the shot doesn't go in, but they both do.
Panthers going to go to their extended 2-3 defense, try to force a little pace.
$1:20 to play, third quarter. Panthers thought they had a steal. Well, Missouri Valley Conference student athletes are positively impacting the communities where they live by sharing views and fostering a climate for change for future Valley pioneers. To learn more about mobilizing voices for change, visit mvc-sports.com/OneValley. Got to the rim, couldn't finish. Clark back in.
A little too deep that time.
Under a minute to play, third quarter. Open look, and she knocks it in. The confidence to let that one fly. Stuelke on the season. That's her second made three-pointer. She's 1 of 2 heading into this game.
And that shot isn't a huge deal in this game, but her making those threes takes Iowa from a great team to a potential Final Four team. Her ability to step out and make those threes. So not a huge deal today, but come March, that is going to be imperative.
She's an 83% shooter from the floor, high percentage. Took a dribble to get a little closer. Hadela falls down.
As we see Caitlin Clark get a little rest here, end of the third.
She needs one more rebound to get that triple-double. Idolizing these Panthers and Hawkeyes. But work on your free throw shooting.
That's right.
It's pretty important.
I coach 5th grade girls basketball now. I think the whole team's here in Cedar Falls. It's something we talk all the time about, making free throws. 5th graders not so good at it.
One of the things you can work on and control. Well, Bree Robinson comes in for her first action today, as Maya McDermott continues to sit on the bench with an injury. Foul, starters or top 7 players that are not playing in the second half.
And unfortunately for the Panthers, this lead swelling to over 30 points, probably not going to be a lot of minutes for some of those key players. It's a long season. This thing's 4 months long. Going to need to preserve some of that stuff. Probably in the Hawkeyes in the fourth quarter as well. We're going to see some players that maybe don't normally log as many minutes, and that's just how it happens. That's how sports work.
Hawks can hold for the final shot here. Looking to add to their large lead. Beautiful feed. Took an assist away from Caitlin.
She did. It's a great point, Eric.
She gets the points anyway. A huge third.
With a lot of good players back. Started with that opening set when they went right into the post to Stuelke and never really stopped.
Points in the paint, 32-16. Second chance points, 15-1. Fast breaks, 19-1. 39th year as the head coach, 24th year at the University of Iowa. Upper corner, got the degree.
Really good. In a bad situation of being a blowout, good to get Bree Robinson some minutes. They really, coaching staff.
Another foul That warrants free throws here. And another missed free throw. 16 of 23. They also broke the women's basketball all-time attendance record for a single game. 55,646 on hand for the crossover Kinnick exhibition. An awesome opportunity to showcase this team, these women, and the sport of college hoops.
Carver Hawkeye Arena holds about 15,500. And McLeod Center today, almost 7,000 people here for a women's basketball game.
Under 9 to play as Clark will inbound. There you see the shot. A very intimate setting for this in-state battle.
Great defense by Buffelli. Goes vertical, stands her ground. Fortunately can't secure the defensive rebound, but really good post defense by the veteran Buffelli.
Kate Martin on the weak side gets it, the grad student. Averaging 9 points per game. Another whistle.
30 other opportunities on the schedule to make an impact. But this crowd is ready to get even more Iowa fans here. Iowa has a nice crowd as well, but there's a ton of purple in here, and it's really good to see.
Clark pulls it back out with 10 on the shot clock. Clark with 23 points. Now the all-time leading scorer in Iowa history. Getting the plaque, the trophy. Good offensive rebound. Naismith, Wade Trophy winner, along with the AP.
On Sports Center. She's doing commercials for different companies. She's talking to Stephen A. Smith.
A rare miss from the free throw line.
And I think she would even tell you that's not sustainable. With the defenses they're going to see and the amount of good players they have on their team, that's just not quite sustainable, and that's why it's called an average. But she's certainly going to score her fair share of points.
Guard out of Fremont, Nebraska. That's her first make of the year. She was 0 for 5 before that shot. Wettering.
Good low look from Hadela to Wettering against the zone, flashing that girl in from the short corner after the high post touch.
Well, this is the 29th meeting between these two programs. Iowa leads at 25-3. 2019, not that long ago. And the Panthers have beaten the Cyclones, Kansas State, a lot of Power 5 wins. They won, making the NIT or NCAA almost every single year for the last decade.
Postseason played 12 out of 13 years for the Panthers.
Wow.
And they'll be in the postseason this year.
They will. Green light for McCabe again. And, of course, is this the final year of college hoops for Caitlin, or does she just continue to add more and more points and accomplishments?
Well, and that's where women's basketball is significantly different than men's basketball. In men's basketball, she would be in the NBA because of how well they pay. The WNBA does not pay that well. She could probably make more money in college, so it wouldn't surprise me for her to come back for another season.
The LSU lost earlier this week. UConn.
It's very possible the Hawkeyes could be
a 3-0 week, and they broke a record number of season tickets. And then they opened it up for individual game tickets, and it sold out in less than an hour. People wanted to see this in-state matchup, and they wanted to see Caitlin Clark
going to win a lot of games, and hopefully the attendance is as good as they've ever had based on those number of season tickets, because they got a great team on the floor this year.
Again, the Panthers without 3 of their starting players with a couple of injuries, and outstanding offensive and defensive performance by the Hawkeyes in this game, sitting at 88 points.
She's a transfer out of the MAC. First year was last year. Gave them some much-needed added guard depth.
Offensive rebound.
I'm excited to see what Riley Wright can do for the Panthers this year. She's going to add some.
So the road ahead for the Hawkeyes and the Panthers does not look easy. No guaranteed W's on either of these teams' upcoming schedules before conference play hits right around the turn of the calendar to 20.
Neutral site against 2 Power 5 teams at South Dakota, at Creighton. We're going to have a lot more data about the Panthers when they come back at the McLeod Center in a few weeks.
Under 2 to play. Fourth and final quarter. It's been all and 40% from deep. 11 of 27. Gabbie Marshall 5 of 10 to lead the way. Right, looking to add to her total. She really didn't force anything. She was 4 of 8 shooting with 7 rebounds.
With Purdue, Fort Wayne, and either Delaware or Florida Gulf Coast. Florida Gulf Coast has a great women's basketball program. Interesting to see if that matchup comes to fruition.
A foul on the 2 points, both coming from the free throw line, along with 3 rebounds. Now at 91 points. Through the first 2 games, Iowa was averaging. They defeated FDU 102-46, and then Virginia Tech by 4, 80-76. And I'm just going to say it. They are, I don't know where they're finished, but they're definitely top 1-2 will do for the returners this year.
Well, they have great experience. They've got great weapons, but they also have Caitlin Clark. She makes unguardable shots. And when you have somebody who can make unguardable shots like Steph Curry, things like that, any night she could go for 50 and you could beat anybody in the country.
That's what makes it fun. That's why it's appointment must-see TV. 94-53, that'll be the final score here. The Iowa Hawkeyes showed why they are just an incredible talent, taking their show on the road. For fans of Northeast Iowa, I'm sure people came from all over. But Caitlin Clark finishes with the double-double. But our player of the game is Gabbie Marshall. Folks, she hadn't scored a point heading into this game. 0. She has 17 today, 5 of 10 shooting.